An anti-air turret, that looks very nice. Oh, a pelican. They're going to make a pelican. That looks really, really cool. A section of a Halo ring. Nice. Some brutes, some Spartans. Hang on a minute. What's that on that brute's shoulder? Oh my. Hey squad, Sykes here, and a kindly reminder, if you enjoyed this video then please make sure you leave a like, head over to InstallationX and subscribe and hit that bell for notifications of future uploads and support the channel on the road to 1000 subs. Now the questions of whether a major character will die in Halo Infinite has been one that I've been scratching my head with on and off for a while now. With so little information being revealed for Halo Infinite, many fans such as myself have been left speculating about what could happen in the campaign of Halo Infinite. A couple of weeks ago we got a good chunk of info to chew on in the form of an audio teaser which revealed that the Banished from Halo Wars 2 would be moving over into the main series and playing a role in Halo Infinite. However, for many that wasn't good enough, and lots of fans have been scanning the new Halo Infinite Mega Construx announcements to see if they could find any juicy details hiding themselves away, and boy oh boy did we find something. A new set including the Master Chief, a Brute, a Marine and a Grunt would seem simple at first glance, but a closer look reveals some significant details. The Brute pictured, who has later been named by various sources as Hyperius, seemingly has Spartan Jameson Locke's helmet attached to the armour of his right shoulder. This has sent Halo fans into somewhat of a frenzy, with many believing that this set has revealed a major plot point for Halo Infinite, the death of Spartan Locke. Now to confirm, as of the end of Halo 5 Guardians, Locke is very much alive, having helped save Master Chief and Blue Team from a Cryptum and the clutches of Cortana with the assistance of Team Osiris. This all feeds into the bigger question of this video, whether a major character will be killed off in Halo Infinite, and do I think Locke will be the major character to die in Halo Infinite, or do I believe someone else could be taking the proverbial bullet? Let's start with Locke, and whether I believe he could die, and the answer for me is yes. Yes, I do. However, if Locke is going to bite the dust in Infinite, then I believe it needs to be in a meaningful and impactful way. Now, I was not the biggest fan of Locke in Halo 5. A lot of that was down to the fact that we were heavily misled about Locke's role in Halo 5 due to a great marketing campaign for Halo 5 that had nothing to do with the narrative of the campaign. And I feel Locke took the brunt of a lot of fan backlash for that. However, I believe Locke's character, along with others from Halo 5, can be redeemed with good writing and time to flesh out characters to get us as players to be invested in them much more. That means if Locke is to part from the land of the living in Halo Infinite, it has to be just that, meaningful. Which means if Locke dies early doors as a way of rewriting the wrongs of Halo 5, I will be really, really annoyed, because that is just lazy writing. If Locke is to go, then I want it to be an heroic end and will serve a greater purpose for the Halo Infinite narrative and beyond, and will help redeem his character for many fans. Now, I've seen many mention Locke saving Chief, but I felt that this would be a bit cheap. After all, I don't really value the relationship between Chief and Locke. It was so badly thought out in Halo 5 with Locke just simply following orders after Chief chucked a paddy that it wouldn't really mean much for me if Locke went out saving Chief. That for me is somewhat of a cheap pop, as it were. However, what I think would be a more fitting end for Locke is if he went out saving the Arbiter. This is because there is a real history between Locke and the Arbiter, even though they've only really shared a screen for a short while. One of the few things that was somewhat actually fleshed out in Halo 5 was the fact that back when Locke was an Oni agent, he wrote a dossier on the Arbiter recommending he be assassinated. This was before the Arbiter and his elite swapped sides when they found out the truth about the Halo array and revealing the Prophet's lies at the end of Halo 2. This then led to some frosty encounters between Locke and the Arbiter that could develop into something great in Halo Infinite. How fitting would it be for Locke to go out saving the life of the warrior that he once desired to eliminate? That doesn't bring into play the wider impact this could have with regards to building up whoever takes his life if Locke does perish. This leads us back to the Banished and potentially Hyperius, who is said to be the one with Locke's helmet, with it appearing as somewhat of a trophy for the Brute. The death of a Spartan on screen, which is yet to be fulfilled in a mainline game outside of Halo Reach, would go a long way to building up the Banished as a serious threat in Halo Infinite. A serious threat is something Halo really needs right now, whether it's the Banished led by Aatrox or the Created led by Cortana, as for me, a void has been left after the Didact's supposed death in Halo Escalation. Now, if I thought that it would be just Locke in the firing line in Halo Infinite, I would have said so in the title of this video. Are there any other characters that I think could get knocked off in Infinite? I guess my arguments for Locke's death and its wider impact of building up the Banish could be made for any other character really, with the exception of Chief or Cortana. However, there is one character whose death could have a massive impact on the whole narrative, and that is the one of Dr. Catherine Halsey. Halsey is one of the shadiest but most vital characters in the Halo universe. Most importantly is how influential she has been either directly or indirectly for many characters. She is a weird kind of mother figure for Chief and Blue Team after she raised them and engineered them into the super soldiers they are today. She has impacted Team Osiris as they wouldn't be Spartan 4s if it wasn't for her original work with the Spartan 2s. Not to mention all the shady stuff that went down between Halsey, Lasky and Palmer in Spartan Ops in Halo 4. Then of course there is Cortana, who wouldn't even exist if it wasn't for Halsey. Halsey is central to so many character arcs and threads, and her death would leave a lasting impression. If Halsey were to die at the hands of Cortana or the Created, what kind of effect would that have on Chief and Blue Team in particular? Would Chief be driven to terminate Cortana, realising he could no longer attempt to save her? Now though we have the Banish on board, what would happen if Halsey were to die at the hands of Atriox and his brutes? Would that tip the scales back to Cortana and Chief reuniting to stop the Banish from taking over the galaxy? There are so many questions and theories around the plot of Halo Infinite, specifically whether the threads that were introduced in Halo 4 and Halo 5 will actually marry together in one game. I for one hope 343 can write a compelling story that brings meaningful arcs to many of my favourite characters of all time. We'll just have to wait and see for the Xbox July 2020 showcase to see if we can get any more information to then start speculating about all over again. Well squad, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please make sure you leave a like, you head over to InstallationX and subscribe, and let me know your thoughts on any potential character deaths in Halo Infinite in the comment section. Don't forget to follow myself and the channel over on social media with links in the description, and as always, I'm Sykes, and for more on Halo Infinite and all things Xbox, stay tuned to InstallationX. Bye guys.